What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of PSPN The Pod. I got it right this time. Today I have Pokemon trainer Liz with me, and we're going to talk about everything Japanese. We're going to talk about her Japanese collection, Japanese promos coming out for Sword and Shield, and the superiority of Japanese card over English collecting, and why they're better and why you're not good for not collecting them. So, Liz, hello.
Hello.
How's it going? How's it? We were chit-chatting earlier. You were catching Parks and Recreation.
Yep, this is another watch through of it.
Yeah, I think I've looped that like 6 or 7 times already. That show is comedy.
Yep.
Between that one and The Office and now Letterkenny, I could just sit there and just randomly choose an episode and then just go from there.
Yeah, we usually do that with The Office, but we kind of got sick of it for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, check it out, Letterkenny. You're not gonna regret it. It's a really fun show. Those Canadian rednecks, eh? But anyways, back on topic. So Japanese collection. Tell me about your Japanese collection. When we talked about when you gave me your New Year's resolution for the New Year's resolution podcast, you talked about how you wanted to collect more Pikachus in your Japanese collection. So just give me the spill. What got you into the Japanese collecting?
Well, I don't really know, to be honest. I just kind of was getting back into Pokemon cards around this time last year. And I was just kind of looking at a bunch of new stuff coming out, and I think I just saw more Japanese stuff first, and so I was like, this is so cool. And I didn't really have a whole lot of cards when I was younger. It was mostly my brothers that had them. And I was like, I don't really know if I want English, because I was looking at them, and I was like, Japanese just looks so much better. So I was like, why would I spend money on English when I can get better ones?
Right.
So,
that's a crazy thing how some of the newer Japanese cards, their value is a lot less than the English cards. But you look at some of the older ones like the like the XY era, and those run a lot more expensive than the English ones. Especially like the full arts and everything. Maybe they're just harder to find, or to me they're a lot more nicer, a lot more textured, more color. They pop out more.
yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't collecting during X and Y, so I maybe have one full art from X and Y, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe 2 of them, but
So where are you in your collection?
well, I'm still trying to collect all of Tag Bolt, but I'm trying to I don't want to buy any of it. I want to pull all of it because that one's my favorite set, and that's the one that introduced all the tag teams. And I don't know why. I don't know. It's mostly Kanto. Except, well, there's Alolan versions, and then in the tag teams there's outside of Kanto, but I don't know, it's my favorite set. I like it a lot, and so I think I've opened 4 boxes so far, maybe I think 3 actually. So I'm trying to do that, and then I'm working a lot on the gym set, which you understand. I bought a lot from you actually. I'm trying to work on base through I think Neo 4 for the old stuff, but primarily gym challenge. Is that what it was called in Japanese?
You know what? I think so. Gym challenge,
'Cause
and then in English I think it's like Gym Heroes and Gym.
Right.
Yeah, something like
I don't
that.
even. Right. And then my Pikachu stuff. I don't have a whole lot. I mean, I have a little bit, but I'm just kind of if I see someone selling something randomly kind of on Instagram, I'm like, oh, cool, I'll pick that up. And then, same thing a week later, oh, I'll pick that one up. So it's not really, I haven't, written everything down and planned it completely. I just see something and I'm like, oh, I'll just get that. But
Right, that makes sense. That's a coin flip right there. You sit there and you make a set list, and you're like, oh, I need this card, I need that card. And then you just randomly collecting them. You're like, oh, okay. And then, somewhere down the line, you'll be like, all right, this is what I'm missing. This is what I need.
yeah.
What's your long-term goal on this?
Well, for sure, like I said, base through Neo 4. I want to get a couple binders set up and start like putting stuff in it because I have just random stuff from various of those sets. So it's like right now I find something that I buy for those sets and I throw it in just my junk binder basically. Just all full of my random stuff. So I think actually putting together the binders for them and start actually working towards them a little bit more in a more organized way.
What are we talking here? Z-Folios, Top Deck, Walmart with the dollar sleeves?
Isn't it Z-Folios the ones that I think you told me it's like there's it's a row of 4 and it's 4x3 and it's a zipper one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was gonna go with those because I don't like the Ultra Pros what I have now and it has like that band that goes around it.
Oh yeah.
But
I hate that.
I know once you get too many cards in there, like it starts to bend the top and bottom cards that are on the outermost part of like your binder. So I was like, well, that's dumb, so I don't want that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that happen to, and it sucks because they're like high-end cards with a nasty crease going down the middle of it.
Oh, right. So it's like, I don't want to do that to my cards anymore. So right now when I put my binder on my shelf, I don't like wrap the little band around it. I just like shove it in my shelf or kind of open, but yeah, I need a new one.
Yeah, and the Z-Folios, they don't go very high end. You can find them for $17-18. Like the plain color, the colored ones are a little bit more expensive. But I bought some black ones and they were like $17 for the 4-page ones.
Huh. I saw some on Amazon. I think they're like probably around that, maybe 20, but I think it was a colored one.
Yeah, I got mine off of Walmart.com and they were cheaper there. Yeah, I checked eBay and they were a little bit pricier. I'm pretty sure Amazon will be a little bit pricier because they deal with more higher end retailers and everything.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So, remember that binder that I have that's like full of Japanese and everything?
Yeah, I think so.
The one that I occasionally put for sale when I need a couple bucks.
Yep.
Let's just go through it, and any card that you need out of there, I'll go ahead and send it to you because that's just collecting dust, and for the $2-3 that I make out of it, I'd rather just go to you and give you a big chunk of help to getting towards that goal. Yeah, hell yeah.
What the heck? You don't have to do that.
Well, I would rather this, knowing that it's going to something specific, something that's going to make a higher impact, rather than selling a couple for like $1. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to starve over a couple bucks.
Okay, that's so nice of you. What the heck?
I am a super nice guy and extremely humble. It's crazy. But yeah, no, it's no big deal. Like I said, I'd rather it go to you than it just collecting dust and making me a couple bucks here and there. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
Sure, yeah, for sure.
So are you gonna keep collecting Japanese with the new sets coming out?
Yeah, unfortunately December has really messed with me, so like I haven't been able to buy anything. But I mean, who doesn't that happen to with Christmas? It's kind of nuts. So, I hope to pick some boxes up soon, especially because the new one, what is it, like VMAX Rising, I think it's called?
The new one or the new one? Because they just released like another one, right?
Yeah, so like the new one that is like the second set in Sword and Shield. That one comes out the first, I think, Friday of February.
Yeah.
So the ones that came out earlier in December, which was the first Sword and Shield set, I have not even picked that up yet.
And let me give a quick shout out to Pokemon BLT. He is your plug for Japanese booster box. That guy gets them on the cheap. Real good deal. So if you need any Japanese booster box hookups, that's your guy to go to. You can find them on Instagram. And I think he has a MySpace you can reach him at, but I don't have it with me here. So, yeah.
100%. Yep, PokeBLT's your dude.
And that's the awesome thing about the Japanese booster boxes. They're a lot cheaper than the English ones, so they're more accessible.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, I think normally it's around like 50 or so bucks, but I mean, technically you only get half the amount of cards you do in an English booster pack because Japanese packs are only 5 cards per pack, and then I think you get, if they kept it the same, it's 30 packs. So, I mean, aren't English booster boxes like 100 or something like that?
Yeah,
I've never. I don't
yeah,
know. So yeah.
about 100 to 120, depending. I know. I can't think of the set right now, but it was selling for like 120. That was the most expensive one that's been going on right now. But for the most part, they're about $100.
Sure. I'm gonna guess and say it's got like a hyper rare Charizard in it.
No,
That's
no,
probably why.
Ultra Prism. That's the one that was.
Oh.
Every time I'd see
Hmm.
it, it was like 120, 140. So yeah,
Huh. Interesting. I wonder why.
I wonder
I
why
don't
too.
really.
There's nothing really in there that's like breathtaking.
Hmm.
Hmm. Let's take a moment to reflect on that.
For sure.
What is in there? There's nothing that really grabs the attention.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't even look at what sets like come out in English from Japanese. So, um, I don't know. Was that even Sun and Moon?
Ultra Prism, yeah, that was Sun and Moon.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And okay, so Japanese the way the Japanese sets come out, they're split into two, right? So like one English set would be two Japanese sets, correct?
I think it's two or three, depending on the set. But it's mostly two, from what I've noticed.
So then this new one drop in Japan would be the second part of the base set for Sword and Shield or Shield and Sword, whichever one it is.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep up the same pattern, I would assume so. That it's gonna be there's the base that came out in Japanese in December, and then the new one that's about to come out in February.
Is there any specific card that you're excited for in that?
Um, well, the one in February, no one's really gotten any leaks yet. But the one from the base set, in the Shield side, there's a Sableye V card that I really want. Sableye is one of
Ooh.
so I really want that, especially because they went to the Y style era of the back. For like full art, that
Yes.
looks so much better. So I'm really excited for that one for sure.
Yeah,
And
I
then
was not a fan of the Sun and Moon backgrounds. They were dull. Like you'd have a Arctic Uno GX with a blue background. It just got lost
right,
in it.
right, they're kind of boring.
Yeah, and the texture was again the texture would get lost with the Pokemon, and they were just very lackluster. They didn't really have too much of a pop to them. And then you see these
Right.
coming back out with the. Not only that, they're perforated too, so you can see like the. No, not perforated. What's the word I'm looking for? Where it's like popping out.
I don't know, like just like dimensional looking.
Like where you can like touch them and you can feel the texture of them, the like
Oh,
sunken in and everything.
I know what you're talking, like kind of like concave, but the opposite way because it's
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
out.
that deal. I forgot the name for it, but yeah, they look so cool. The colors in the background are so rich. They're
Mhm.
more they're like in action poses, so that it's just vibrant, all the colors and everything. And okay, so something I was curious about. You know how for the most part when they come over to the English, they keep that ugly yellow border,
Mhm.
and how they did it with the where the reverse hollow with the Pokemon with the trainer on the last set that came out.
Oh, yep.
And I was hoping the V cards would remain with the black border how they had them in the Japanese sets.
Yeah.
And from the what is it? There's a VMAX Meowth, and I believe it kept the English one kept the black border. So I'm hoping it remains that way.
Yeah, I think I saw that one too. I think someone posted it on Instagram. And because that's the first promo they've released for English so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think it looks like the V card's based on the Meowth one. I mean, it looks like it's going to keep the grayish black border, and I really hope they do. Because that yellow, I can't stand it.
Yeah, it's hideous and it sucks because the Japanese cards they have that nice hollow border too on the reverse hollows or the holographics. You got that
Yeah,
awesome little the the
love it.
hollow border
Hmm.
as opposed to that ugly yellow. It's like it's so bland. It makes the card look boring.
Yep, I agree.
And well, I on the one of the last podcasts I was asking people to show their common cards, show the basics, the commons, and I have not
Yeah.
seen anybody post. I didn't even know there was a Corviknight card in the set until one of my buddies said that he sent me one, and he showed me the picture, and I'm like, what the H? I have not seen anybody post a Corviknight card, and I asked somebody that opened the booster box if they pulled a Corviknight, and no, not one single Corviknight. So I'm like, all right, way to make it scarce.
Yeah. I don't think that I've seen any either.
Yeah, there's one. It looks super dope because it's like swooping in.
Even online, I don't think I've seen it, but I'll have to look it up after.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, it must be. Yeah, it must be from this set because they haven't leaked anything from the new set. I mean, obviously it hasn't come out yet, so
Right.
it's in the mail. So hopefully it gets here soon because I am excited. That's the one I'm looking for. I'm super stoked for a VMAX Corviknight card. Those are gonna be, whew, those are gonna be dope.
Yeah, I really hope they get one.
So let's move over to what's new, Pikachu. What's up with the what Japanese promos are coming out for I'm just gonna say SNS because I have a hard time saying Sword and Shield.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird to say sometimes, so I feel it. Yeah, so, well, the very first one, I really like it. It's like, I think it's technically a Pikachu card, of course, but it has Scorbunny, Grookey, and Sobble on it, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, that was released a while ago now, I think, but that was like the very first one. And then, I don't know. So that Meowth one is out in Japanese. That thing is going for like $20 right now, by the way.
Oh,
And I don't
really?
know. Yeah, because I was going to pick it up and I'm like, I can't spend $20 on a card right now. So,
Do you
I don't
think
know.
it's just because it's fresh? Like, you know how every card that comes out is kind of expensive out the gate, and then it just goes down?
Yeah, I'm guessing because I mean when the Meowth Gigantamax did get like announced, it was pretty popular because everyone was like, "Oh, it's the cat meme thing." But
Long cat?
yeah, that might be why too. I don't know. I think it was a popular Gigantamax form, but it's like I think one of the newest promos, so it might just be because it's new.
Okay. Yeah, because so let's cover. Right now, the English promos is you got that VMAX Meowth and the God, how do you say their names? The Sword Dog and the Shield Dog.
Yeah, I pronounce the sword one Zacian. I don't know, like, if that's correct. I've heard people say Zacian too, and I was like, I don't know, that kind of sounds weird to me, so I say Zacian and then Zamazenta.
Huh. Those are a mouthful.
Yeah. But yeah, because they made, like, the jumbo versions of those ones, right?
Right, yeah. That was with the jumbo, and everybody thought that it was going to include the Sword and Shield
Oh,
packs.
right.
And you see some of the boxes, they have like evolution packs in them. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, you got played.
Yeah. I mean, at no point did anybody anywhere say it was going to include SNS packs, but they just made the assumption since, oh, it's a SNS Pokemon, it's going to have SNS packs. Wrong.
Right. Oh, man.
Is that the only English ones available right now?
To my knowledge, yes.
On the and the
I don't-
and the starters, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Actually, they made two different versions of each one.
Okay.
Because those came in the same boxes that, like, the jumbo legendary ones did.
Uh-huh. Right, yeah.
So there's those as well. Otherwise, I feel like that's it so far on the English side.
Huh.
They also, it's not, well, it's technically from the Sword and Shield era, but they made another Pikachu promo for the newest Pokemon Center that opened. It had like the Mew and Mewtwo on it. There's like their mascot for that location, and it has like the Mewtube thing, which is super cool looking in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really want to go to it. But, so there's that one. It's like a graffiti Pikachu. It's kind of cool. And then they have like the gym, like the what are they like the championship cards? So if you play in a tournament, they give you promos or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of those that I really like. There's a Pikachu one, obviously, and then there's a Noctowl one,
Oh
which I
really?
thought was cool
Huh.
because I feel like I don't know if I've seen a Noctowl promo, but I like Noctowl a lot. I think he's a cool Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah. He's pretty dope.
Yeah, and then oh, they made the Hop Trainer, the promo one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
almost
was pretty
forgot about
cool.
that looks pretty cool. I mean, it's got like the new Hollow on it, which is a lot better than the Sun and Moon Hollow. So it looks pretty cool.
How do you feel about the hyper rare trainers with the glitter?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen any in person yet, but I think like when I see pictures of it, it's kind of like, wow, that looks like a little much. But I don't know. Maybe like it'll look different in person. But I think it looks almost too glittery, and I hate glitter. I don't like glitter, so I don't know.
Yeah, it does look overpowering. And like you said, maybe in person it'll look different, but in the images
Right,
it looks like the glitter is just kind of taking over the entire background, and it's really
right.
indistinguishable the trainer from the background.
And I think like the idea for like Rainbow Rare trainers is really cool, but I feel like if they had kept the hollow, excuse me, like the new hollow pattern that they have already, I feel like it would have went a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It kind of looks a little wild. So
Yeah. The my first reaction when I saw those was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to change the rules to my pack battles again.
oh yeah, oh I didn't even think about that. Oh my god.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
after they introduced the basic hollow trainers, and then the
Mhm.
tag team trainer full art, I'm like, oh god. And now this, I'm like, oh Jesus.
Well, luckily, I mean, for like the tag team trainers, that was only one set. So if you have Sun and Moon sets in your future tournaments, I guess, but it's only one set to worry about, you know.
Do you think that's gonna be a continued theme, or do you think they're gonna go ahead and drop that?
I think, unfortunately, the tag teams are done because they have the V things going. So,
Right.
which kind of sucks because like so I have two of the tag team trainers that are really the only two I wanted, and I like it a lot. I think they're super awesome. I have the red and green technically because it's Japanese, and then the Misty and Lorelei, and I think it's awesome. But like kind of disappointing that it was in the very last set, you know?
Yeah, yeah. That would have been cool to keep through the Sun and Moon series.
Right. So if it had been brought earlier, like when the first tag teams were brought in, or even like the second set, um, but yeah, I don't know. I think the tag teams are done.
I,
It's
I
just kind of
the crappy thing about it is that they set up so many cool concepts with the last set, and they just dumped them all. It would have been
I know.
with the like the reverse hollow Pokemon with the trainer. It would have been so awesome had they gone through like a gym hero kind of style, um,
Yeah.
and Zekrom or whatever have you. Those that would have been so freaking awesome. Like a tag
Right.
team trainer Pokemon.
Right. That like you said, they had so much potential with it, and it just kind of was thrown in the last two sets, and was like, here you go, and then like, oh, see ya.
Yeah, like, and that's the bad thing about. I mean, it's cool that they drop sets as often as they do, but sometimes it just feels rushed. Like, okay, here's another set. Okay, we got to do another one. It doesn't really
Yeah.
give a opportunity to explore all the possibilities they have. Because Jesus, imagine the cards that would have come out of that.
Right. Oh, for sure, I agree, and especially like the Japanese, at least for the Sun and Moon. I mean, they were dropping once a month, so it's like
Yeah,
I'm
that was
I'm
wild.
surprised they do for sure. I'm surprised they did not do a January set, and they waited until February to do this new one. Um, but I don't know. I think because when they do that, the English ones, those are like every 3 months, right?
Yeah, yeah, about
I'd say that. I mean, at that point, though, it's kind of like, okay, I've been opening the same set for 3 months now. I want new cards. But it's like, once you get 1 month or a new set every month, it's like, okay, this is like crazy to keep up with. Like, I'm not rich, dude. Calm down.
Especially the size of the sets recently. What was the last one? Was it 200 cards?
Well, I heard it was the largest English set to date.
Oh, really? Oh, so it was just that one then.
Yeah, I think it was 200 plus.
Good lord.
But I don't know. I just heard it was the largest English set to date because that was Cosmic Eclipse, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, that was the largest one. I don't know the exact number, but I'm pretty sure 200 plus.
Yeah, and then I don't know. One of the most annoying things to me is people complain about cards not holding value, and then they complain about the pull rate. You can't have both things. If you want a good pull rate, cards are not going to hold value because they're becoming common. But if you want a valuable card, you're going to have to expect it not to be commonly pulled. And people don't really get that concept, and it's not that difficult to understand. It's supply and demand, people, basic economics.
For sure. I don't know that I've really seen anyone complain about that too much, but I don't doubt that people do.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've seen people opening pack after pack. It's like, oh, the pull rates suck. Oh, I haven't pulled anything. Oh, these cards are so cheap. They're not holding any value. It's like, guy, make your mind up.
Yeah, I guess I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, look at how it happened with. I'll use Charizard as an example. The first graded one sold for 15 grand, and then everything after that. People started bombing the market. Everybody wanted to get it graded. Everybody wanted to send it to Beckett or to PSA. And look at the value now. I mean, in comparison from 15,000 to a couple hundred, I'm assuming that it's selling for now. And people are pulling it and pulling it and pulling it and pulling it and pulling it. You got people stockpiling these sets, opening them like crazy, collecting them like crazy. At some point, that card's always gonna hold value, but not as much as if it was being pulled one every 200 packs. Or, I mean, you have some people that have pulled it like 4 or 5 times already.
Are you talking about the new shiny one?
Yeah, the one that everybody's all moist off of.
Yeah, yep, that one, I remember that. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing, it was like day 1 or 2 of release, and just some of the first people, that I follow on Instagram pulling it and immediately sending it off to PSA to get it graded, and I was like, I mean, the thing that sucks about that to me is, you're gonna turn that around so quick to try to sell it. It's gonna go down in value, like you said. I mean, just because it's, new and it's hot, right? But then 2 months later, I mean, it's not gonna be worth $15,000, dude.
Right. Lucky the guy lucky the person that sold that first one and just cashed in on it, because everybody after that, it's like, all right, well, here goes the market getting saturated.
Right. That person got lucky that they were able to sell it for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first handful of people were able to get a good coin off of it. But anything after that, it's like, I mean, you look at pricing on eBay, you look at pricing on Instagram or wherever you look at your pricing, and it's not anywhere in comparison to at the launch.
Right.
And yeah, you always have the people that are gonna drop money on it, but then you have some of the people that are smart and wait off on it, and they'll either eventually pull it or able to purchase it at a lower price.
For sure. I know someone that I think they pulled it twice, and they sold the second one. Obviously, they didn't need it. But it wasn't. He didn't sell it for thousands of dollars. He was like, "Well, I'll just give someone a fair price on it." I was like, "I don't need it."
Right.
So.
Was Matt? I know Matt was selling his. Was he able to sell it?
I think that's who I was talking about, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm pretty sure he did, because I watched him pull it both times, I think, because he did it on Instagram Live. So the first one he pulled, and then the second one, it was kind of funny. He even made a joke. He's like, "All right, let's pull a second Charizard," and then as opening that pack, when he said it, he pulled the second one.
Oh, that's awesome. That's legendary.
It was pretty funny. I think it's on his page. He saved it and posted it, but no, I'm pretty sure he sold it. I'm pretty sure he did.
How do you think the VMAX Charizard's gonna do in this set?
I hate to say that I really hope they do make one because I think it'd be really cool. But,
Get off my show.
oh no. Um, but I think it's gonna be the same thing, like, especially if they do the VMAX, so it's like the Gigantamax one. It's gonna be pretty hot for a while, but my advice is just to wait. Don't spend a frick ton of money on it. Oops. Yeah, don't spend a crap ton of money on it right away. Just wait. Pull it yourself too. That's way more like I think
Rewarding.
it's way more. Yeah, it's way more fun and rewarding to pull it yourself. That's
Yeah.
why a tag bolt set. That's why I want to pull everything myself because it's my favorite set, and I want to go buy everything. Like that's lame. I don't know.
Right, right. How are the other ones doing? The what is it? The Charizard and who's the tag teams that it's with?
Oh, like the newest one. Is it? People say is it Breaksin?
Oh, the
Break.
Firefox one, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce. Um, that actually, I have just like the plain old regular GX of it, and it was only like $3 maybe.
Oh, really?
And that I bought from someone who like doesn't sell like for profit, you know.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so I would assume it's not very expensive. I mean, I know the rainbow one, I'm sure is obviously more,
Right.
but I don't really know. I mean, I like Charizard because, like, Charmander was my first starter when I played the original games when I was younger, but I don't really collect Charizard, so I don't know.
Because, man, I saw the regular holo go up to... Somebody was selling them for like $12.
Mm.
Just like the regular one of him, I don't know, whatever he's doing. But, yeah, not a GX, not a tag team, just like a regular holo. Like, what in the H?
Well, was that from Team Up?
Whichever one, the last one that he came out on. I think it was Team Up, yeah.
$12? I don't know, that seems high.
Right, and
I don't
it was a handful of them too. I think it was like 6 of them.
That one, is it, so it's like he's like breathing fire, and it looks like he's kind of flying a little bit?
Yeah, kind of like over his shoulder.
Yeah. So that one, yep, that was Tag Bolt or for English. I really like the artwork on that. I think it's a really cool looking card. But I would not spend that much money on it.
Right, yeah, especially if it's just like a regular holo, you can eventually pull it.
Right. Well, especially, I mean, Japanese packs, it's like a holo every other pack. I'm pretty sure I pulled 3 of them from one box one time. So I don't know if that's worth that much.
Huh. Moving on to the soapbox segment. What do you think? Oh, excuse me. All this talking about Charizard's making me sick. So, what do you think? I mean, obviously, you collect Japanese over English. What do you think is better, visually wise, Japanese or English?
Personally, I like Japanese for a few different reasons. The biggest one that we mentioned briefly earlier is on the common cards. It has the yellow border, and I really hate that. I think it looks like trash. I mean, the old cards have like a gold border, but it's not like that banana yellow that sticks out, you know?
Yeah.
So I definitely prefer Japanese. I think that the Japanese characters look a little bit more appealing on the cards rather than English text. And I don't know why. That's just...
The aesthetic of it, I think. It looks more aesthetically pleasing.
Right. And then the back of the card looks way better than the English one. The English backs, they have like... Let me grab a card. So it has like... It says Pokemon on it. It has like the Pokeball. But then it's got like the little energy symbols on it. And there's like 7 of them, I think. Yeah, there's 7 of them. And it has like this gold border around the outside of the back. And I think it looks way better than the blue, and it just says Pokemon with a giant Pokeball that's not even opening the right way that people put. So I don't know, but I prefer Japanese. I think they look way better.
Oh yeah, and you know how we talked about earlier too. The texture on it is just so richer. The color pops out more. It's so much more vibrant.
Right. Well, and then even like just feeling an English card versus a Japanese card, like you can tell the difference in the material.
Yeah, it
And
feels glossier.
yeah, yep. And I think that the Japanese ones are just more quality material is being used, I guess.
Are you well versed in the Japanese sets?
What do you mean?
Like, do you know most of them? Do you know, like off the top of your head? If I asked you about a set, would you be able to tell me about it?
Some of the recent stuff, but nothing past, or nothing, I guess, earlier than like when the tag teams were introduced,
Oh,
because I
okay.
haven't really gone back a whole lot.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Moving on.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry.
there's a Houndoom that I've been looking for that I have not been able to find in Japanese, and it's from
Oh,
the Dragon set.
oh, was it Dragon Majesty in English?
No, no, it's just dragons.
Um,
It's an old set.
hmm.
I don't know. It might be Dragon something else, but it's an old set, and it's yeah, it's one of the PSAs that I'm missing. I'm only missing like three or four of them, and that's one of the ones because I have not found a card gradable. I have one Japanese one, but I have not been able to find any more.
Is it one that you put like in your just what was it yesterday? Your Poke Slay Day post?
No, no. It's watch. I'll show you after this which card it is.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I don't know.
oh well. You know, I will say that the only English set or the only English style I prefer over Japanese is the megas, just for the fact that they have their attack in Japanese and the Japanese card has it in English. I think the fact that it says the attack in English kind of takes away from the card.
You are very right. I didn't. I kind of forgot about those cards because, like I said, I wasn't really collecting then.
Uh huh.
Um, you're right. Yeah. Um, it's really odd how they did that.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like
mean,
I
it
never understood why.
it looks so cool. The English card that has the Japanese like slammed across the Pokemon,
Yeah.
whereas you know the Japanese has it in English. And like, ugh, boo, American. I'm gonna get canceled for that. You know, that's what I was talking about earlier. How those are, you look at the price of a Japanese, one of those Japanese over an English one, and the Japanese one is gonna be pricier than the English one. Maybe because they're harder to find, they're harder to collect. I know for like the ones I collect, the Gyarados ones are always a lot more, a couple of dollars more expensive than the English ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Or like for example, a Japanese Gyarados, Mega Gyarados will run about like $3-4, like a full art one, but a full art Japanese will run about like $7-8. So
Huh.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. I wonder why. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know, because like you said, I mean, usually the English are more expensive.
Oh, speaking of, that's something I've been meaning to ask you, and I forgot about it, and I don't even remember who asked me. Okay, so you know how there's a TCG player, which is kind of like the standard for people pricing their English cards. Is there a Japanese? Is there a website where you can find pricing on Japanese cards?
That is a good question. I guess the only thing, well, see, I don't really know, because I don't almost ever look at prices unless it's like a card that I know is going to be a little bit more expensive and I want to make sure I'm not getting ripped off. Um, but I found a website that I look at all of like the set, like it has like the full set and all the like high quality HD pictures of them.
Uh huh.
Uh, and it's pokelector.com.
Yeah, yeah. That's another standard that people use for marking
Yeah,
off their collections and kind of cataloging what they have.
right. So sometimes I'll just go on there and look at different cards. I think I was actually on there today looking at the newer set, but that does have price in Japanese yen. So,
Huh.
so I mean, you could just throw that into Google and convert it to US to see kind of what it would be here. I guess you can maybe base it off of that. Um, but yeah, I don't really know. I mean, honestly, I kind of have asked BLT, like, I'll message him and be like, hey, how much do you think this is worth to buy it?
Yeah, I've done the same thing too. He's the unofficial Japanese price guide.
Yeah, and I'm always like, dude, I could just Google it, but like, I don't really know what to look for, so I'm just gonna ask you. But yeah, I don't know if there's a quite a site like TCG Player.
Well, for everybody interested and listening, we'd love an answer to that. If you guys know of a website commonly used or uncommonly used to price Japanese cards, we'd love to hear about it so we can share it and inform people so they don't get ripped off. Because for the most part, I know a lot of people kind of go to eBay, but eBay is like shooting fish in a barrel. You're not going to really get anything too concrete about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you do it that way, the best thing you can do is just look at recently sold listings and I guess watch the value go down. So go way as far back as you can to see what it was going for and see how much it's dropped to be like, okay, I guess it's kind of worth this much now. Or if I wait a little bit longer, maybe it'll drop another few bucks or something. But eBay is kind of, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, eBay's just weird. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll resort to eBay, like when I have a slab that I need a price, but
sure.
it's extremely unreliable.
Yeah, I mean, if you find trusted people on there, it's a little bit better, but how often is that, I guess?
Right. I mean, you have to, like, because if you find like 5 or 6 different listings for it, it's like, okay, you can kind of standardize it from that. You have $35, you have $40, all right, 36, 34, 32, But you have like 1 or 2 listings, it's like, there is only 1 or 2 listings, so they're going to just pull whatever out of their hat and decide to call it that price.
Exactly.
Yeah. Alright. Well, we'll get back to that. I'm pretty sure we'll have somebody else that's a heavy Japanese collector on here, and we'll see if we can get to the bottom of that. See if we can find an answer to that question because we need to know. I know a lot of people are getting into Japanese collection. I've talked to several collectors that have avoided it, but are kind of getting turned on to the idea to collecting Japanese counterparts of the cards they want. So it'd be nice to have a resource for people to look into and kind of guide themselves.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's that. Let's go ahead and okay. So the segment Pokemon X Y. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I've been kind of picking on ugly Pokemon, so now the segment is Pokemon X or Y. So we're gonna randomly choose a Pokemon. We're gonna use a number generator, and whatever Pokemon it comes out, we're gonna figure out if that's an X Pokemon, awesome, or a Y Pokemon. Like, why would you guys ever make that? So, do you have a number generator available to you?
I don't, but I can pull one up like on Google.
If you wouldn't mind, how many Pokemon are there?
Total?
Yeah, like 8
Ooh.
something. I'm using my phone to talk to you, and I'm using my laptop to record the conversation. So I am teched out.
So there is. Oh, that doesn't answer my question.
Google, how many Pokemons are there? Google.
Well, that's what it's telling me. There's 807, but I don't think that's with Galar.
Yeah, that's with Galar or Galar.
Well, like with it though?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Who cares? Whatever. Let's go with 807.
Yeah, for sure.
we'll figure it out later. Galar's too easy. There's so many crappy Pokemon there.
That's true. The designs, I mean, there's definitely a few that I really like that stand out, but some of it's kind of like, really?
Yeah, like especially those fossils. They are so weird.
Oh my gosh, I hate them.
It's like if they put them together wrong.
I know, they just took 2 random fossils and they just slapped them together and they're like, alright, here's your TV, dinner, microwave. Thoughts. There you go.
Are you
I
sure?
don't like it.
Are you sure? I don't know. Maybe?
Right. I hate that. I don't coincidence with a friend of mine all the time. They're so
It's tea time. I don't care.
yeah. I hate it. Okay, so I just did 1 through 807, and I got number 500.
All right, what's that?
Let's Google.
Google. Pokemon 500. Google.
It is Embor.
Embor. Embor's pretty... What do you think? X or Y?
I'm gonna say Y.
Really? Why?
I don't like humanoid Pokemon.
I was gonna say the same thing!
He's like standing up, he's got like hands basically and like fingers almost. Like, I don't know, I don't like it.
I was gonna say Embor would be a cool Pokemon if it was on all fours.
Yes, I think that would be a lot better.
Yeah, and this is something we've talked about too, that Pokemon are, they're, for the most part, they were designed after animals, like, what animal walks on 2 legs? I mean, upright, that has 4 legs.
True.
Alright. Yeah, okay, so Embor, you heard it here. Why? Just
right.
Why?
Well, especially when it comes from Tepig, and Tepig is so cute.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know, it moves to that thing?
Yeah, because that was that was a starter, right?
Yep.
What were the other 2? Groki?
No, that's from the newest one. The other 2 was, is it Snivy or Snivy? I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. And that one turned into like that, like, pretty dragon thing?
Yeah, Serperior.
There you go.
Yep. And then Oshawott, which I like Oshawott. He's a cute little otter.
Oh, yeah, the little otter guy. Yeah, he's cute.
He's cute. But, yeah, then, I mean, Samurott was kind of cool. He's on all 4s, so it doesn't look weird.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, I don't know what they did to Embor.
Yeah, Embor's, I don't know, it's all... I really like that card. I don't know what set. I think it's... Whatever, it's a cool set. Where it's, like, the family picture, and it's got, like, all 3 evolutions as the family's growing out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
You know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cute card set.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Alright, well, there you have it, guys. Embor. Why is it a humanoid Pokemon? We will never find out. Alright, well, okay, we covered some good topics today. We covered Japanese Earthing. Japanese cards are way better than English. Fight me. Japanese promos coming out for SNS and Japanese collection. I'm excited to see your collection grow, because Japanese cards are really, really dope.
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, like I said, I've only been collecting, back into collecting, it's been less than a year. So, I don't know, I hope to work on it a lot more.
Sweet. Excited to see you knock some cards out, and hopefully the new cards don't overwhelm you too much trying to keep up with the old stuff.
Well, for sure.
But yeah, that's the show, guys. Thank you, Liz, for joining us. Thank you for you can follow her on Instagram. You wanna spell it out for the people? I'll put it in the. Oh, you know what? I'll plug it into the item description. You're on Twitter, right? Under the same name.
Yeah, my Twitter is mostly just kind of like shit posts and shinies, but
shit posts and shinies, guys. You heard it here. Are you on YouTube?
I made openings for a little bit, but I was like, I really don't like this, so I'm not. I want to stream, but I need to get my setup fixed before I start.
Okay, well then, I'm pretty sure I'll have you back on the show before the end of the year, so we can touch topic back on your Japanese cards, and we can see where you're at with that.
For sure.
So, do you know the sign off?
I think so. Yes.
Do you wanna lead the way, or do you want the second line?
I'll do the second one.
Okay, guys. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Make sure to follow Liz over on Instagram and Twitter if you want to see some shit posts. as with everything, guys, may your codes be white.
And your poles be gold.
Bye-bye, guys.